Hi. I wanted to give a quick update about Final Fantasy and stream schedules and things like that. Um, People seem to like the first video I put up about this, and have had a bunch of people come to the streams, been playing the game, enjoying it a whole lot. I finished the first game. It feels like that's kind of quick, but I think that's going to be the quickest game to finish in the series. I was having a super good time with this. I'm feeling even more enthusiastic now than I was at the start of this project about getting it done. So since I was having a good time, I've been playing a lot. I altered my stream schedule in the middle of it. Originally I said I was just going to do it Saturday every week at 1 p.m. That turned out to be nowhere near enough. Like, I waited a week from the first stream to the second one, and that just felt like an eternity. I'm used to never waiting more than 4 days. Yeah, 4 days in between sessions for a game that I'm actively playing, and 7 days is just way too many. So I added another stream time on Wednesday evening around 6 p.m. So people had some trouble with time zones. I am in the United States Eastern time zone, which an easy way to look that up is just as New York time. So whatever time it is in New York City, that's the time, the local time for me. So if that's easier to remember than what time it is in US Eastern, then, look it up that way. I'm also trying to schedule these streams on YouTube ahead of time. I still have a few things to learn about how scheduling streams on YouTube actually works, I think. I can specify like a certain number of hours before the stream starts that I want it to be promoted on my channel. I don't know what the word promoted means in this context. It does something. And apparently, as soon as I set a time, no matter how far out that is, some people already see it. YouTube is a mystery to me in some ways, even as long as I've been working with it. Anyway, but I'm doing my best to make sure people know when these are starting. Stick to the schedule. I guess I did start a few minutes early the other day, and that caused some problems, so I'll try to stop doing that. I'll start exactly on time. Saturday, 1 p.m. New York time. Wednesday, 6 p.m. New York time. And I usually go for about 3 hours. I pushed through the end of the first Final Fantasy on Wednesday's stream, and that went a little over the 4-hour mark. So it's a lot. I'm sure there are a lot of people who are interested in following this but aren't able to keep up with the amount of stuff that's going on. That's fine. Just don't force yourself to come to the stream if you feel like it's taking up too much of your time. Feel free to just catch up with it later if you desire to follow it. Anyway, but yeah, if you do show up, then that's cool. I appreciate having the company. Yeah, this has been real good. So right, finished the first game. It's probably the quickest of the entire series that I'm going to be playing. It was about 20 hours of playtime on the save file, though that number doesn't reflect the number of stream hours because I did some off-screen grinding and also had to reload a few times, so that would have cut the time down. So it's, I don't know. 20 hours is the only number that I can easily measure, but it's not necessarily an accurate one. All of the others are going to be longer, not least of which because the very next game coming up, and the one after that, I have not played all the way through, so they're going to be a lot of new territory for me. So right, next game still on the PlayStation. Final Fantasy II will be starting Saturday at 1 p.m. I'm real excited about this one because, again, I haven't played all the way through it, so I'm going to learn some new stuff. I figured out what I needed to do for Nintendo DS video capture. See that little USB port there? That was not initially on this. So I had to unscrew that, mount a special device in here, cut some holes in the case to give it a port. But anyway, I can do video capture off this thing now, so I have that problem solved. So all my plans for the future are good. I can capture the games I need to capture. But we won't have to worry about that one until we get through another game first. Anyway, so yeah, been feeling real good about this. It's been awesome. So right, schedule changed a little bit, and I'm learning that the Twitch streaming schedule that I set up for myself. I should clarify something. I got a whole lot of Twitch subscriptions after I put up that first video. For people who I'm pretty sure were not there for dance games, I only stream dance games on Twitch. I only stream non-dance games on YouTube. So if you're a YouTube subscriber, you don't need to go over to Twitch for any Final Fantasy related stuff. That's not where I'm doing it. Should have been a little clearer about that up front. And maybe it's weird that I use a different streaming service for different sorts of things. I feel like Twitch is kind of the platform where I just do sort of a throwaway thing, like something that I don't want preserved as part of my overall video footprint on the internet, I guess. Like, if I'm streaming on Twitch, then that archive is going to go away. Maybe I'll save some highlights to it and upload those to YouTube. I don't know. Anyway, but if you're not interested in dance games, then you don't have to worry about Twitch, basically, is what I'm saying. But then the schedule I set for that turns out to not be a good one at all. I already changed it a bit, getting rid of the Wednesday Twitch stream to make room for the Wednesday YouTube stream. I think I'm just going to throw away the Twitch schedule I was trying to do entirely. It's much easier to schedule a game that doesn't require physical activity than it is for one that does. I have to be in the right physical state for doing dance games, and that doesn't always happen at the same time of day. And the time of day I picked was a bad one for various reasons. Anyway, so for the 4 people who are watching this who care about dance game streams, that schedule is going away, and I'm just going to go back to my system of doing it when I feel like it. Since I announced it here, I felt like I needed to unannounce it since that's changing. Anyway, but YouTube schedule, scheduling for Final Fantasy, working out great. I'm sticking with that one, at least for now. Bonus streams of other games. I'm not ready at this point to go and do other stuff. There are a few games I do want to stream, in addition to the Let's Plays and the Final Fantasy series and the dance game stuff that I do, at some point, but I have to mind my workload and not take on too much at once. Just to give you a preview, I'm fairly certain I want to do a Hyperlight Drifter replay at some point. I've streamed replays, this would be on YouTube, like I did for the Legend of Grimrock replay that I did. And there's this game called Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy that's caught my eye that I'd really like to play, and I think might be more suited for a stream than an LP. And a couple of others kind of maybe in that vein. We'll see. Anyway, so don't know when, but those are the ones that I'm firmly enough planning to do that I feel comfortable announcing them, I guess. And then I have a list of a lot of other possibilities. Anyway, so yeah, that's what's going on with me. Yeah, and if you're into the Final Fantasy stuff, I hope to see you Saturday for the beginning of Final Fantasy II. And oh, right, I should also mention, I've been keeping detailed notes for everything that happened to me in the first Final Fantasy game. I'm getting like more and more inspired as I go through this to try to take kind of a historian's viewpoint on it and compare different version differences, different translations and things. And I learned a lot about the story of this game that I didn't realize. I have beaten it before, but the ending of the story went in a direction that I had no idea it went in. So I feel like I must just not have been paying attention the first time I went through it. It was also like 7 years ago or something, so it's hard to remember things that far back sometimes. But anyway, so I have detailed story notes. I'm doing sort of a whole analysis of the story and the gameplay and lots of different things about it, like elements of that game that will show up in future games, unique quirks that went away after this one. I'm going to have a much better idea of what those things are after I play the rest of the games, because I'm just doing this from memory. But, I can answer some of those questions now. Anyway, so I want to do a sort of wrap-up and summary and story recap video for each game as I finish it in the series. So I have basically the material I need for the first one, other than I think I need to capture some footage of different versions of it for like graphical and music comparisons and script comparisons and things, and do a little bit more story analysis. So I'm sure I understand what I'm talking about when I give my story summary. So this video will be coming, but I don't know when, is what I'm saying. Expect it sometime, but I'm going to give myself a generous time frame for getting it done, because this involves a lot of editing. It involves reviewing literally all of the stream footage I just created for this game as I played it, which is quite a lot. And, editing some of that together into something. Anyway, so it's complicated, but I'm quite certain I want to do this. Just have to figure out how and find the time to do it. Anyway, cool. Yeah. So again, super enthusiastic about this project. This has been just the best thing. Very happy I took it on, and I'm happy that a lot of you are also coming along for the ride and enjoying it as I am. Anyway, yeah, cool. So I'll see you hopefully on Saturday for Final Fantasy II.